Shalom, or praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables Camp. And this is the apostles' video. Stay away from these hyenas and get you a snow bunny. So the apostles went through this. Other YouTubers have gone through this stat on the different diseases spread amongst the American or the United States population. And amongst the black women, they had the highest, I think like 64%. And so-called black men, I think 39%. And this is data from 2010. The apostle's going to look up.
Minutes long. This is Anton Daniels. He's nothing but a lost soul. He swears he's a Christian. You ask him what qualifies you to be a Christian, he'll tell you all kind of madness. And he'll say he's not an Israelite. You cannot be an Israelite and a Christian. You cannot be a Christian unless you're an Israelite. To qualify to being a Christian, you have to be an Israelite first. You can't change your last name to Rockefeller and go hang out with the Rockefellers. You can't do it. You know? So this right here, then Anton Daniels, more black women are getting HIV. They've been getting HIV. Woman says they have to protect themselves against these men. So she's saying it's really the man's fault. Y'all ain't doing nothing wrong.
All right, Tommy Sotomayor years ago brought that out. And the apostles brought this out years ago too, about the different diseases amongst the tribes. Then they cited the so-called black women having the highest. Now they have the liberty to be sexually promiscuous, so they're able to have more sex partners based upon their feelings and their wants at the time. So that's the curse they're under. All right, and because of adultery diseases, you know, amongst the tribes, and they're citing HIV. There's a bunch of different diseases outside of HIV that are among the tribes and amongst people in general. But we're focusing on the apostles saying, stay away from these hyenas. All right, get tested. We do urine or whatever, urine, and if you really need to, I would stay away from the blood. But if it's that serious, But I'll just go with the urine, and switch the tests unopened. You can doctor those tests too. So we have them go together, whatever, give the technician a urine sample and look at each other's tests. And get into your relationship. Yeah, but you can exclude her out, because this is right here. She got a natural hair.
They got it.
I think that's a natural hair, yeah. But she's a demon. Don't be fooled. This is how she talks. It's the hair. It's a combination of things, not just whether she got a hair hat, like Tommy Sotomayor would say. It's the whole thing. It's her attitude, her knowledge, and how she carries herself out in public, which is her public image, which is her hair and her way she dresses. That's how you can determine whether you have a decent lady or not. Not just whether she's wearing weave or not. That
protect. In other words, deal with the men, but make sure you protect yourself better. So commit adultery. Ain't none of these people spiritual, man. That's why Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua going to take them your favorite uncle, your nephews, your cousins, your mother. If she ain't right, if you ain't right, you're going to get taken out. First thing that's going to happen, if you live this long, you're going to get chipped. It says, dear black women, no one coming to save you. Protect yourself. Meaning, go commit those adulterous acts, but make sure you protect yourself. So anyway, I'm gonna watch this. Now let me just go to the facts. I say, you know what I do? Let me go to Google. I put in HIV numbers in U.S. by race. As a matter of fact, let me go here first. I'm sorry, let me stay here. And I'm going to get ready to end this. It says in the U.S., which is America, Babylon, black African American women, and Hispanic Latino. I didn't say women, I said blacks, but it's big among women and men. Hispanic Latino people, which are Israelites, disproportionately, that's a nice long word, affected by HIV. Do you think Esau is putting it in the food, in the soul food restaurants? No, it's happening because of sex, adultery, compared to their population size.
This is Proverbs 27:12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but a simple pass under are punished. And women don't believe in the scriptures like that. It's very few that actually believe, all right, because the Bible is a masculine book meant to be read by men and dictated to women, not the other way around or together. Men are supposed to teach their wives and children the scriptures, or they're supposed to learn it from their fathers or from the head of the congregation. All right, they ain't supposed to pick up the Bible and interpret it themselves because they're not that intelligent. All right, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. All right, because what proves it, anything negative about them in the scriptures, they're gonna get they start to question whether it's true or not. All right, that's how you know these women they can't really interpret the scriptures 100%. Their skills only based upon imitation or looking up definitions, not upon having the Holy Spirit of understanding.
In other words, the numbers are off tilter. It says these groups account for a significant proportion of new HIV infections in 2022, 23, 24, 25. Black African Americans made up about 12% of the U.S. population, but account for 37% of new. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. It says made up 12%, men and women, supposedly 12%, which is about, it's a little bit more than 35 million, which let's say 40 million. I'd say closer to 50 million. 50 million are Jake. When I say Jake, black African American, Judah. It said the U.S. population, but account for 37% of, that's not good at all. Good chances are, you deal with a Jake woman, or even a Latino woman, more so a Jake woman, chances are you're going to get a disease.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Proverbs 27:12. Wry, evil, disagreeable, malignant, bad, unpleasant, displeasing, bad, worse than, okay, worse than it's nobody, so-called white woman, sad, unhappy, hurtful. All right, so that's, look, the numbers don't lie, like the apostle, I think he said already. It's my third time trying to do this video. My third time. Make sure we all the way up in 1080p. So it'd be nice and clear. 64% black, so-called black women, 39% so-called black men, 18% so-called white women, 35%. Esau out there, man. He in there for that freakism, that freaky shit. Man. You got the Northern Kingdom on the lowest, and one other lower than the Northern Kingdom. 22 for men and 15 for the women. That's close. That's what it should be, not at all. But we under the curses, so that's something that you need to. That's crazy as hell. 64%. What, 6.4 out of 10? 6 out of 10? That's crazy. 3.9 out of 10. That's damn near double, almost a little less than double. All right, between the Southern Kingdom men and women, that's insane. And in Esau, that's like double also, right? 20, yeah, damn near double. All right, so it flipped for the men and the women between Jacob and Esau, between the so-called black man, black woman, and the so-called white women, white man. All right.
64% Latinas, but the number has gone up. It has gone up right here. Edomite women, well, among men. Okay, that's among women. So a woman that you should stay fucking away from is this woman right here. Is the hyenas. You can get with a snow bunny, or you can get with a Latina.
But they at least they know that they're supposed to be servants, you know, both in the bedroom and out in the world, not just in the bedroom. See, the so-called black woman, she's only a servant in the bedroom sometimes. All right, but the Latino woman and so-called white woman, they're servants in the bedroom. I would say majority, 99% of the time or 100% of the time, and say 85%, 90% out in public. All right, pick better. Right? What the so-called black women say? Pick better. Well, take their advice. Pick better. Don't pick them. All right, move on. Date the women that like you. And most of you so-called black men, the so-called black women does not like you. All right? These are facts. You know, most so-called black men like so-called black women. All right? But the majority, I would, well, whatever percentage it is, their consensus is the so-called black women does not like the so-called black man. This is why over the decades, so-called black men have been getting with the other tribes and with the so-called white women. All right. If we're too masculine or too broke, then, but the other tribes and nations accept us, I guess, hey.
But
right. And then so-called black men are fucking broke. So that means you're begging. You're begging for money. That means you're broke and stupid. All right. If you're constantly looking at somebody that's broke. All right, what the men are doing is saying, okay, well, we got other options. And the black women are still complaining about how black men dating white women. Which most still don't. All right. So this is a reason to stay away from, as the apostles calling them, hyenas. All right.
Numbers about the same as Esau.
What they call them YNs. We're not talking about you YNs. We're talking about the brothers in the faith. The brothers that got their shit together or getting their shit together. We're talking about you. You other guy, you normal people, you don't give a damn about you guys. You go deal with whatever disease-infested, argumentative, disagreeable demon that you want. We don't care about you. We're talking about brothers that got their shit together. All right? Their mind, got their little bit of their shekels together. All right? Or getting it together. They see the big picture. This bitch going to be destroyed. All right, which is in Babylon, America. All right, and we'll move accordingly. You know, get with who likes you. She does not like you like that. All right, she's not a servant. All right, what proves it? Her fucking mouth is running. That's how you know she ain't a servant. Her mouth is running. All right.
So, but they're saying that since this is based upon 2010, and this is 2022. But look at this. And they only represent 12% of the population of the country. So there's a good chance, 8 out of 10, you deal with a Jake woman, you're gonna get a disease. You're gonna get a disease. So stay the fuck away from them. So this is among men, right? Black men, they out there, but it's not as bad as the black woman. Edomite men, they out there too. Latin men, they out there. And women, they tend to go to the doctor, they get a hangnail. What do you call that? What do you call that thing? Ingrown toenail. They sneeze, they run to the doctor. Men don't do that, But the numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't lie. The math is mathing. Look at that. As of 2010. Look at that. Look at that. That's not a good thing. See them to Harlem say you can deal with snow bunnies. You damn Skippy. You can deal with snow bunnies. Just don't marry them. Okay, now let's go over here. HIV numbers.
All right, so it says Texas. I thought Florida had the highest, but apparently Texas. What year is this? 2022, so it was like 3 years old. Texas 4,800. There's 13%. Nation number of new HIV cases. So this is not by demographic, by race, but by state. All right, in 2022, Texas and California led the nation in number of new HIV diagnoses. Remember, this is just one disease or infection, whatever they're calling it now. All right, Florida followed Georgia. So this is not by race. This is by state.
In U.S. by states. In 2022, Texas, California, who lives in Texas? Jake. California, Jake, led the nation in the number of new HIV diagnoses with 4,000, almost 5,000, 5,000 plus, 5,000 cases almost, cases respectively. Florida, Jake, followed with almost 5,000 new cases, new diagnoses. Georgia, Jake, going on 3,000 for more blah, 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 HIV epidemic, United States, blah, 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 blah. Look at this. Top 10 states by number of new HIV diagnosis, adults and adolescents. Teenagers. Wicked and adulterous generation. That generation was referring to Israelites. Hey, Nate needs to be over here. He needs to be here, not no damn Kenya. And see, Esau breaks things down by the numbers. It's not a racist thing. It's a fact-finding thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna watch this. But like I said, I've been doing this continuing series. Stay away from these hyenas. All right. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom on to the next.
Yeah, a quick way to ruin your life is to get subject to payments through via a woman, and you're more than likely going to get subject to payments through, via your counterpart. All right, or really anyway, in America, any woman, but you're more likely to get subject to payments through your counterpart. All right. Now, if she got if she has some sort of humility to her in certain ways, you might just pay for childcare or some other thing rather than to put you through the court system. But she's still wicked, though. Just because she chose not to do something demonic and evil against you, that means she's good now. Hell no. All right? The best thing is not to engage. All right, let's go for Seeth. Oh, look. So H72, just look or something like that. Just look. Or see. Ra'ah. Or see. Have vision. Like you can look at a woman and see how her mouth moving, how she carry that she's gonna be a damn headache. It's gonna end bad. She just gonna ghost. Alright. Oh, she had a bunch of dudes' numbers in her phone. Alright. And look at her hair. Look at her how spoken she is. Spoken. The quality of speech. You tell a lot about somebody by how they speak. All right. How they dress. All right. And, we study women, so we kind of already know what's going on. All right, women when they come to men, they're just stupid. They're just stupid. All right. But no, us in the know, we can kind of look at one of the edge. Just the only reason you was with her because she had a nice ass and big titties, right? Yeah, that's pretty much. You never thought she was a good person. All right. Women are so they actually think that dude's she can change the dude. All right, what is it? Pipe dream, or whatever the proper phrase is. Can't change the dude. If the dude's a damn idiot coming in, he's probably going to continue to be an idiot. All right, you chose to get. You got freedom in this system, right? So, for brothers that's in the faith, we don't care about you dudes that's in the world. You can go F yourself. Do not get with disagreeable, malignant women that have high potential to have infections. All right. So I'll leave that there.
Peace.
Hope you edify. Shalom.